Hey y'all, welcome back to the Dirty Old Garage, and guess what? It's here. Black Mamba is here, the brand new track from Alice Cooper, and not just any Alice Cooper, the original Alice Cooper group. That's right, they're back together again for a new album, and I am personally super pumped. And the first song is released today, and well, I gotta talk about it. I've been making all these Alice videos, I might as well go all in on it. Because y'all know I love me some Alice Cooper, and I always have. But what do I think of Black Mamba? I'll let you know in just a second. Do me a solid. Like and subscribe for all this great Alice Cooper stuff.
These words he speaks are true.
So yes, The Revenge of Alice Cooper is due out via Ear Music on July 25th of this year. So just a couple of months away, and we will have a brand new Alice Cooper album. And the original group has not done an album together in over 50 years. The last one they did was 1973's Muscle of Love. Yeah, they've done some songs together on Alice's solo albums, the past few solo albums. I mean, there's been a pretty good amount of those songs. But apart from maybe The Sound of A, that song had an Alice Cooper group feel. The rest of them feel like Alice Cooper solo. And it just so happens to be the other guys playing on it. And in an interview that he did for Billboard, Alice Cooper said that on those solo albums, he has the final say. He's got all the say, basically, right? But on this case, in this album, The Revenge of Alice Cooper, they've split it. Everybody's got an equal say. And that just will help to bring the Alice Cooper group sound back. Because the Alice Cooper group sound is very distinctive. And a huge part of that is Neil Smith's drums and Dennis Dunaway's bass. That rhythm section, to me personally, makes the Alice Cooper group sound the way they should sound. Those two guys. Yes, Michael Bruce on guitar and Glenn Buxton on guitar. Those were big parts. But for me personally, it was that rhythm section. It gave it a feel. Like Dennis Dunaway's bass is completely underrated in that respect. So the question is, can they bring it back together 50 years later? They've got Bob Ezrin producing again, so the whole team is together, except for, of course, Glenn Buxton, but he will be represented on the album, by riffs used from a demo that he had done. But we'll talk about that once the album comes. Right now, Black Mamba, the first single, and my initial impression of it, the first time I heard it, right? Because I've heard it 4 or 5, 6 times by now, but the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, I like this. I like the bass and the drums. That sound is there. So I love that. The vocals, the chorus, but here's the thing. The chorus I really didn't like to begin with. I thought it was pretty lame. But then by the end of the song, it's stuck in my head. Right? And then the more I've heard it, the more I've okay, I get it now. And it starts off with this spoken word thing by Alice, and I don't like that. But it morphs into the melody, the vocal melody, in that intro, and I love that part. So I think you got to have that first part to have the payoff with the second part. So I get it, and I love it. It's kind of just like a driving song. In fact, once it gets to the chorus, the music stays the same. And it's just steady on, but it works. It totally works. And you've got that killer bass and the killer drums on this that, y'all know I love the current lineup of Alice Cooper's band, right? I love those guys. But the original guys, they have that distinct sound. And it just sounds with Alice's vocals, with Alice's voice, those guys together, it just sounds right to me. This song sounds like, to my ear, it sounds more like Love It to Death era Alice Cooper, which is a great place to be, right? Because, Bob Ezrin's producing, and if you know, Ezrin always has that studio sugar, the spice, the candy, whatever you want to call it, he's always got that in his production. But on this song, there's not really that much of it. There's a little bit here and there, but not that much. And that's more in line with the Love It to Death era to me than the later, more cinematic, like School's Out, Billion Dollar Babies, that kind of stuff. I enjoy that. I like that. I'm hoping that later on in the album, we'll get some more of that cinematic stuff, because that cinematic stuff was always such a huge part of those Alice Cooper albums. That run from, Love It to Death through Muscle of Love, I think the Alice Cooper group is one of the most underrated straight rock and roll bands, ever. As far as just being a tight rock and roll band. Because they were incredible, and I'm so happy to hear that sound back together again right now. And the one thing I'm disappointed, well, not really disappointed with, but I would prefer if the first single that was released was not one of the creepy songs, And I sure hope, and I doubt it's going to be, but I hope the whole album's not creepy songs, because that's the stereotype with Alice Cooper. He's the creepy guy with the snake and all this stuff, right? But those early albums, they didn't all go in on the horror elements. They had a lot of just straight up rock songs. And I want that nice mix on this. And I'm hoping that with all these guys together, that's what we're going to get. So, I mean, the first single, the Black Mamba, has got me more excited than I was. And I was already pretty damn excited about it. I'm loving it. Call me McDonald's. I'm loving it, man. And I just hope to hell that this is not the best song on the album. And I like the song. But I want to hear them just doing this in different ways. Here's the thing, y'all. I have never reviewed a single before. So I don't know. I'm just giving you my thoughts on the whole situation and what I think about this one single song. And I'm more excited for this after hearing it than I have been for the last several Alice Cooper albums. And once again, I love Alice. I love all of those albums. Some of them I love a lot more than others, but I can find stuff that I love on all of them. But right off, I'm leaning more towards love now. I started off with just liking it, but as I've heard it more and more, and it's kind of, that groove has gotten into me, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this now, because it's got a nice groove to it, and it's got that damn bass and drums. I'm telling you, man, that's the Alice Cooper secret weapon. Dennis Dunaway and Neil Smith. So glad to hear them all together again, sounding like the group, not sounding like session musicians on Alice's solo albums, right? And once again, I liked a lot of those songs, but it did not have that feel. And that's what this is all about, how I feel about it. And yeah, I'm digging it quite a bit. So I'm hoping that this is just the teaser, and we get a kick-ass return to form Alice Cooper Group album. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think about it? I hope I'm not just, blowing smoke and all this stuff, because, like I said, I love it. I apologize. I'm an apologist for Alice Cooper. But this is one I don't have to apologize for. I think it's a pretty damn good song, and I'm excited about it. Hopefully you are too. Let me know. Please let me know, because I want to make sure I'm not alone in this. And I'm sure in all my rambling here that there's some stuff that I've left out. But, take it for love, man. It is what it is. I've only heard the song, 5-6 times? And I'm just trying to bring this to you just to whet your appetite and let you know that it's out there. So make sure you check it out. And I want to know what you think of it. So let me know. Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper Group, is back with Black Mamba. And the full album comes out July 25th on Ear Music. I'm so excited. Y'all stay fresh, cheese bags.